Hello dear students. Well, today in this video we are going to understand and listen to the most interesting story, and the story's name is Jungle Jamboree. But before that, we need to understand the difficult word meanings given in the book. The first word is trampled, which means stepped heavily on and crushed with feet. The next word is squashed, which means pressed something so that it was damaged. The third word is misshapen, which means a shape that is not normal. The next word is scurried, which means ran with quick, short steps. The next word is waterhole, which means a place where animals go to drink. The next word is dignity, which means a sense of one's importance or value. The next word is undergrowth, which means bushes that grow close together. The next word is concern, which means worry. Now, let us understand what is in the story. The summary of the story is long ago, all animals had their homes on the ground, making the jungle a crowded and unsafe place. King Levo had to come up with a solution soon. And let's see what is in the story now. A long, long time ago, all the animals stayed on land as one large family. The birds didn't fly but lived on the ground, and so did the fish. The animal population was increasing, and the jungle was getting crowded. The animals were bumping into each other, and small animals were getting trampled by the larger ones. Elephants squashed the wings of birds, and squirrels looked misshapen with being stepped on so often. When the hippos moved around the jungle, ants and worms scurried out of the way. Grasshoppers and spiders had been flattened by the large creatures. Fish crawled on the ground, sliding away when they heard the thundering hoofs of the horses. Birds hopped behind the trees to avoid the leaping leopards. Fights broke out about who had the right to more space. Smaller creatures were badly affected in these encounters. Levo, the king of the jungle, the magnificent maned lion, was tired of all the complaints. One day, a troubled Levo was at waterhole. So were many other animals. He saw some fish crawl to the edge of the water and dive in. They swam around happily. Birds flew over the water hole, diving down at different points to dip their beaks in the water. After quenching their thirst, they flew towards the trees, perched on the branches, and shook the water out of their tiny wings. Worms scurried into the wet ground. Monkeys hung by their tails from the tree branches, swinging merrily and jumping from one branch to another. An idea flashed in his mind. It was triggered by something that his advisor Victor, the leopard, happened to mention in the past. Your Majesty, humans stay in something called houses. Each family lives in a separate place, he said. Victor had seen these huts when he had strayed close to a village at the edge of the jungle. The next day, Levo called for a meeting of all the animals. It was an overcrowded affair. Levo said to his subjects, I have an idea that will put an end to the space problem. He announced, it will require a kind of separation, but it will be for your good. The aim is to give you the dignity to move around freely without injuring or harming one another. Fish could survive with their gills in water, Leo said. He then turned to the birds. You can fly with your wings. Though they are small now, I'm sure as you will fly more, they will become bigger and stronger. From now on, the sky is your playground, and the trees shall be your home. The birds were thrilled. As for the worms, he said, you have the ability to penetrate in the ground. That will be your new residence. Henceforth, all insects, he stared at the spiders, grasshoppers, and other insects perched on the backs of rabbits, will survive in the undergrowth. This will ensure your safety, which is my main concern. The insect population looked relieved. No more getting trampled on by the larger creatures. And so he allocated different spaces to all creatures. As for the larger animals, you are capable of looking after yourselves. After this separation, the jungle was no more a crowded place because all of them got their favorite place to live in. Soon the wings of the birds developed as they used them to fly more. The insects scurried inside the undergrowth, making their unique sounds to warn the other creatures of their presence. The rabbits made their homes inside the burrows, while the monkeys lived on the trees. All the animals had a lot of room to move about freely and safely. Yes, so, I hope you all have understood the story well and how the king of the jungle, Leo, had separated and yet made them live together in the jungle, giving them different spaces to live in. Yes, the fish got their favorite place, the water to live in, the birds got to make the nest on the trees. They used to fly up high in the air. The insects, they got the undergrowth. The worms scurried inside the ground. And the larger animals took good care of themselves because they were not harmed by anyone else. They used to take care of themselves only. So, children, wasn't it a very interesting story? So now you have to read the chapter twice and learn all the difficult spellings and the word meanings properly. Thank you so much, students.